Hey, gorgeous soul, it's Vix, and welcome to your reading for the month of July 2024, or whenever you come across this video. So today I'm changing up the format a little bit. I would love to know from you in the comments if you liked this format, if you prefer the all signs. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you think. I am so here for you. Like, I create these videos for you to help serve and support you. So let me know what you want and what you need. So today we're doing things a little bit differently, and instead of pulling two cards, a tarot and oracle for every sign, we're going to just pull two cards for the fire signs, the earth signs, the air signs, and the water signs. So you can use this reading in any way you like. You can, of course, watch or listen to the readings for your sign, for your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign, if you know what they are. You can just watch your sun sign. Or if you feel really drawn to, like, I just need to hear that water sign message, even if you're not a water sign, that's totally okay. There are no rules here. Trust your intuition and go where you are guided. So let's begin by just arriving in this space. If you're somewhere where you can close your eyes and that's comfortable, please do so. If not, then please keep your eyes open and stay awake and alert. But let's just take a moment to take a deep breath in together. So deep inhale and exhale. And just take a moment here to think about your intention and to think about why you are here. What guidance are you seeking? What questions are on your heart and mind at the moment? What issue, situation is kind of coming up? What guidance, what support do you need right now? And just set a little intention. Bring that to your mind and sink it into your heart space. And take a deep inhale and exhale. And as always, I just set the intention that everything that comes through in this reading is in alignment with the best and highest good of all. And so it is. Amen. Okay, beautiful souls. So I always forget to tell you what decks I am using today. I'm using the Gill Tarot, which is fast become one of my favorite tarot decks. I love this. And we're going OG with the Angels Among Us Oracle deck. This is the deck that I created with Ellie Grant. It's published by Rockpool, and you can grab this everywhere that you buy your decks and your books. Okay. So let's begin with the fire signs. So we are going to pull your tarot card, and I haven't pulled the cards before we hit play this month. So let's have a shuffle and see. See, the bad thing about not shuffling before you hit play means sometimes it's going to take a minute to find the right card. Okay, this is the tarot card for the fire signs. Thank you. And our oracle card, let's see if this takes as long. Sometimes it just takes a minute to kind of anchor into the space and the energy. Okay, so for our fire signs, we have, let's start with the tarot and then we'll read the oracle. So we have the Hanged Man. I really wanted to just focus on this for a moment because this is one of those tarot cards that not everybody loves to see, but it's actually not a negative thing when you find yourself in a Hanged Man energy. The Hanged Man gives us time to pause, to reflect, to meditate, and to really reconsider is the word that I'm hearing. This is a card all about looking at things from a different perspective, but what I'm hearing for you is that this is about reconsidering something. And that's not to say that you have made a wrong choice and you need to change that choice, but this is about reconsidering, maybe reconsidering some of your goals, maybe reconsidering some of the things that you've been working towards that maybe are not in alignment for you any longer. So have a think this month about what you really want. And I've done this before so many times for myself, and I know people do this all the time, but we get so hung up and focused on manifestation, doing spells, making things happen, following our dreams, all of this stuff, but we don't tend to spend as much time like pushing and manifesting and creating and saying, this is what I want, this is what I'm working towards, I'm doing a spell for this, a spell for that. We put a lot of time and energy into that, and we don't tend to put very much time and energy at all into just sitting in silence, in stillness, and just reconnecting with our own hearts and just asking ourselves, hang on a second, is this even what I really want? So that's your message this month. It's not like sometimes we see that hanged man and we're like, oh gosh, okay, nothing's going to move forward, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to manifest, it's all going to feel a little bit stuck and stagnant. But I don't feel like that's what this card is about for you this month. It's about reconsidering, it's about reflecting, it's about really just taking time to consider, like, are you on the path that you really want to be on? Are the things that you're working towards really the things that you want to manifest? So many of us, I've done this too, we spend so much time hustling, manifesting, creating these things, and then when they come into our lives, we're kind of like, oh, okay, that didn't feel like I thought it would, that didn't fix all my problems, that wasn't the thing that I thought it was going to be. So taking these moments, these times out to just go, hang on, what do I really want, what am I really here for, is so important on your path. And you can spend a month just thinking about that, and then you can spend the rest of this year really focused on what it is that you really want. Okay, so your oracle card is Kuan Yin. I love Kuan Yin. She's one of my faves. I don't know if it's supposed to have favorites, but she's I say favorite, it's more like she's one of the energies. When there's guides or beings, goddesses, angels, that you sort of pull the card or you hear someone talk about them and you're like, ooh, that's for me. I love that frequency. I love that energy. So Goddess Kuan Yin is all about compassion, kindness, and divine mercy. So as you are on this journey this month, thinking about what do I really want, it's really important for you not to go into like a judgment spiral around, well, I wasted all my time doing that, or I've been focused on this thing for years, decades, and it was not even really what I want. We don't want to go into like self-judgment, or maybe it's even just that, maybe it's nothing to do with your goals. Maybe there's something else that you feel like you're blaming yourself for. Kuan Yin's coming in and she really wants you just to like stop doing that. Like stop blaming yourself for things you did in the past, for perceived wrong decisions that you made, for anything that has kind of stuck into your heart a little bit, that you're still carrying around this like blame, guilt, shame, like all of those kinds of energies, those emotions that we carry around, and they're very, very heavy and they get very, very stuck in our energy body. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, just stop doing that and it's like so easy, because it can take time to clear things. It can take months to clear things. It can take years to clear things, but you can clear them and you can heal them. But I just feel like she's coming in with this really loud message of like, you have to stop blaming yourself for the past, for your past decisions, for your past actions. Learn from them and become the better, wiser, more aligned, more high vibe person that you are now. Be that person and move through the world differently. Our challenges, the mistakes that we've made, they're not there to define us. They're there to help us grow, and they're there to teach us. So we have to make mistakes. We can't just come onto planet Earth and like never make a mistake. Otherwise, like, what's the point? We can't just be here and be these like beautiful divine beings that are just like perfect. And here in the human world on this planet, it's just not how it works here. So look at your mistakes, appreciate that these were learning opportunities, opportunities for growth. They've got you to where you are now, and now you get to be a higher version of yourself, a wiser version of yourself. And as you go through this month, making mistakes, messing things up, whatever happens, have some love and compassion for yourself, and just learn the lesson, let it go, and move on. If you do need to make amends with somebody, this is a good time to do it. I had a situation recently, well, not so recently, a little while ago, that was weighing really heavy on my heart, like a miscommunication I had with somebody that I had been really just like holding on to the guilt of my part in that, and like all of this stuff. And, you know, it took me a good couple of years before I had this moment, this like hanged man moment of like, I'm just going to do my part to make amends. Not to say that, you know, they were completely in the right, but I was like, I have to do my part to make amends for this. And the shift that was created after that was just incredible. And it, of course, you know, they didn't even care. They didn't even care. They were like, what are you talking about? You know, and I've been carrying this around for like so long. So let's focus on that a little bit this month. It's time to reflect. Are you on the path you want to be on? And to give yourself some grace and move forward. Let go of the past. The past is the past. You've learned. Quit judging yourself. Quit holding on to the blame, the guilt, all of that stuff. It's not serving you. It's certainly not going to help you to serve anybody else. Okay, fire signs. I hope that was useful for you. I hope it resonated. Please do let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. It makes me so happy when people comment on these posts and let me know if it resonated. If you would like to work with me this month, you can grab a reading. You can come and join us for the basic witch course as well. All the info is in the caption. Sending you lots and lots of love. Okay, so we move on now to the earth signs. So we're going to pull a tarot card and an oracle card. And that came out really quick. Okay, so earth signs. Oh, I'm loving your combo here. Okay, I got to show you both these cards together because this is kind of unreal. So you've got Strength is your tarot card. It's a good one for the earth signs. And then you have Archangel Christiel, Higher Consciousness, Christ Light and Light. And I got to show you these cards together because, hello, do they look like they're the same being, the same person, the same energy? We have this incredible pale blonde woman, and if you look, I don't know how well you can see this on the video, like it's kind of hard to sometimes get like a really good look, but even the facial expression is really similar here, and I'm kind of a little bit blown away by that. And when these things happen, when I'm doing readings and I see things like this in the cards, like I see this, wow, this is like the same message repeated twice, then, you know, it's like, wow, okay, we really better pay attention to this. Okay, so let's begin with Strength. You know, again, this is one of those cards that not everybody loves to see in a reading, because people kind of think, oh, I've got the Strength card, like this means things are going to be hard, this means things are going to be challenging, I'm going to have to find some reserves of strength here, I'm going to have to be strong because, you know, it's going to be so hard or whatever. And, you know, sometimes that is what it means, but I feel like the message here for you, earth signs, this month is about realizing that it's already within you and not having to like, oh, I've got to find these reserves of strength, I've got to work out how to be a stronger person, but realizing that your truth, your true spiritual power is that you are like so strong and you're so capable and you are so, you're so ready for whatever comes. You're so ready for whatever comes. That's like a phrase that's coming through really, really clearly here. You are capable. So that feels important as well. Like it feels like there's maybe some people, some of my earth signs that don't feel super capable right now. You know, maybe you've lost a bit of confidence in yourself. Maybe you've lost confidence in your abilities. Maybe you've got like a big dream or something that you want to do, or maybe you want to like sign up for a course, or you want to, you know, put yourself out there in some way, but you just feel like, I don't know that I can do that, you know? So there's some interesting messages kind of coming through around that. First of all, I feel like the message, and you know, the message with strength is never really, well, you just have to go out there and like all guns blazing and like do the thing. There's like a sort of a more softer kind of energy to the strength card, I feel anyway. And there's like this, you know, this vulnerability that we talk about sometimes with the strength card of like, your strength is in your vulnerability. Your strength is in your softness. Your strength is in your ability to show that part of yourself to others or to the world, or even just be present with it within yourself. So if you're feeling like you're not strong enough, you can't do the thing, you don't know if you can do the thing, the first thing that you want to do is kind of sit with that and think about that. And, you know, ask yourself, like, is that true? And who told me this? You know, who told me this? We are all so programmed. We absorb so much stuff from the media, family, friends, social media, all of these places and all of these people that are constantly telling us like we're not good enough, whether they're using those words and phrases or whether they are just, you know, casually making you, you know, like the beauty industry is a huge one, because the beauty industry makes us feel like we need to buy all of these products because it will make us feel better. But the underlying message of that is like, you're not good enough without this, you know, like you're not good enough without this mascara. You're not good enough without this moisturizer, you know, like you need this because you don't look good enough without it. And that's like the thing that we're constantly dealing with. We're constantly dealing with that in this world. Whether it's like somebody just coming up to us straight away and just telling us everything that's wrong with us, or this more subtle kind of like, you know, this subtle programming that just is everywhere you look. When you start looking, you're like, wow, that's everywhere. And so I feel like for you this month, getting really curious about that is going to be really interesting. Like, don't just accept this story of, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I don't know if I'm strong enough, I don't know if I can make my dreams come true. Take a pause and think, like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? Like, who gave me this? Who gave me this gift and told me this? Like, where did I pick this up from? Sometimes when we find that place, we can go, wow, okay, now I know where this comes from. Maybe it's like a specific thing that happened in your past, or maybe it is just a culmination of just living on this planet. But when you start to recognize it, you can say, oh, okay, like this belief I have, this story that I'm telling myself, that I'm not good enough, it's not true. It's not actually mine. And then suddenly, you know, you can recognize that, you can see that, and then you can move into a much more empowered place. And you can go, actually, yeah, maybe I will sign up for this thing. Maybe I will apply for that job. Maybe I will do whatever else it is that you feel called to do. So the strength card is for you this month. And your oracle, let's just take another look at Archangel Christiel here. Higher consciousness, light, and Christ light. So this is kind of a really beautiful card for earth signs, because, you know, the earth energy, it's very grounded in reality. It's very here and now. It can be a little bit like, you know, you're good at being like maybe a bit more realistic than some of the other signs, which is beautiful. You know, it's a beautiful thing about you. We need those earth signs here on the planet. But I feel like your guides are encouraging you to raise your energy. Like, you know, you're very grounded, you're very rooted, which is beautiful, but we need to also raise that energy through the chakras. And I feel like that strength card's very much about activating the solar plexus. So, you know, in your meditations, your visualizations, when you think about what crystals you're going to use this month, you know, think about your solar plexus as the point that could really use a little bit of activating, a little bit of firing up. And so I feel like as you're getting this guidance around drawing your energy up. And this is like what we do in Kundalini yoga, right? This is the Kundalini activation. The Kundalini energy is that we start at the base of the spine and we open the Kundalini, we open that energy that sits at the root chakra. And once it opens, what it does is it moves up the spine. So it activates, the chakras as it goes. And there's actually a course that I taught on how to do that. And we went through each of the chakras, and you can find the link below if you're interested in doing that. But I feel like for you, where you're at right now, it kind of feels like, let's just focus on bringing the energy into the solar plexus. And then from there, we can bring it up. A really strong, clear message this month for you around connecting with your guides, talking to your guides, asking for your guides for help. And I talk to people all the time who, have something going on, and I'm like, have you talked to your guides about this? Have you asked them for help? And, it's like, oh, actually, I haven't yet. So talk to them. They are there. They want to support you. They want to help you. So while you're drawing the energy like up from the root and into the solar plexus and higher, if you want to go higher, you can at the same time be drawing divine light down into your crown and through your chakras that way. So then you have this beautiful kind of dance of like, these divine beings are bringing this light down, and I'm like raising my Kundalini and my energy up to meet them. And it's just this most beautiful kind of connection where you meet in the middle at the heart space. So yeah, that was a lot. I really hope that there is something in there that resonates with you and supports you through this month. If you'd like to work together this month to get a reading or mentoring, or come and join me with my course Basic Witch this month, all the links are below here on how you can do that. And I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Okay, air signs. Let's pull an oracle card for you for our air signs. Okay, 2 want to come out. And an oracle card for the air signs. And this is it. Okay. Oh, thank you. I was very excited about that because I'm an air sign, and I was very, very excited to turn over the tarot card and see it's the 10 of Pentacles, the prosperity card. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's just start here before we go into the oracle. As I'm tuning into this energy of prosperity and the air signs, the thing that's coming through here is like, look, we all want more prosperity, right? Pretty much everybody. There's some people that are like totes happy with what they have, and that's all good. But we live in this world where like we need money to live, to buy food, to be comfortable. It's just kind of how it is. So some people are like, they've got everything they need and they're all good. But for most of us, it's like, we wouldn't mind a little bit more. But what the guides are saying here is that the energy of prosperity, we've got to start thinking about it as a consciousness, not as just like a bag of money that comes to your house. And I think most of you, if you've been around on my channel for a little while, you will have heard me talk about that before, and you're probably on that. You're probably aware of that. But if you're new, then, you get to hear about it for the first time, from me anyway. It's prosperity is a consciousness. It's something that you choose to experience more than that it's something that's just comes outside of you and is given to you. Once you choose to experience it, then it's much easier to receive it coming towards you from the outside world. And so what our guides are saying here this month is that they really want us to be focused on this part of the experience with prosperity. And this involves things like seeing where there is already prosperity in your life, looking at where the prosperity is and being grateful for it. And you can do all of the cliche things. You can write your prosperity and gratitude lists. You can, you can say, one of my favorite things, let's talk about this. One of my favorite things to do, I'm not that great at doing a gratitude journal. I find it kind of like a little bit boring to just kind of write down every day, I'm happy for this, I'm grateful for that. I don't find that it works that well for me. What I find really, really helps me when it comes to gratitude is being grateful in the moment when something happens. So, I can, like, hours later, I can sit and go, oh yeah, I'm grateful for that thing that happened today. But what I really like to do is to actually just be grateful in the moment when it's happening, not just have this experience of life where it's like, oh, I'm just going through life and things are happening and whatever. And then later that night, I sit down to write my gratitude list and I'm like, what was good today? Oh yeah, that was good. Oh yeah, that was good. It's like, I want to be present in the moment with the gratitude. And so this is my game that I like to play, and I haven't done it for a little while. So I think this is a sign for me to do, for me to do it this month too. Whenever you feel grateful for something, you express it. So whether you express that through, usually I just like to say what I'm grateful for, but you do it in the moment. And it can be like you go out for lunch, and you probably do this anyway, right? Like you go out for lunch and the food was really good, and you say to whoever you're with or to the person that serves you, wow, that food was really good. And that's the practice, but you do it like constantly. So you don't just do it when you go out for food. You do it when you make your own food, and you do it when you make a piece of toast for yourself and you go, wow, I really love toast. That was great. And you do it even when no one's around. So even if it's just you and you're just in your house by yourself, then you eat your piece of toast and you go, yeah, I love toast. Toast is so great. And you just say it to yourself. And I know it sounds a little bit kooky, but it really is incredible for making you feel more grateful and making you notice in the moment what you're really grateful for. And so, I like to do this when someone books in for a reading or when someone signs up for a course or something with me. I like to take a moment and say, wow, I'm so grateful that this person has chosen me. I'm so grateful for this. This is amazing. Or I just say, thank you. Thank you. Like sometimes that's all you have to do. Maybe you feel like, Vix, I'm not the sort of person that can walk around the house all day going, I love tea and I love pizza and I love my fluffy slippers. And, maybe that's not for you. Although it's really fun, and I suggest that you try it. But maybe it's just thank you. Like every time you notice something that you're grateful for, just say thank you. You put your feet in your fluffy slippers. Oh, thank you. Give it a go and see how that feels. This prosperity energy, it's all about feeling it in the moment, because so many of us, we focus on prosperity as like, I'll be happy when I have this much money. I'll be happy when I live in my dream house. I'll be happy when, this other thing happens. And that leads me perfectly into Archangel Jophiel, joy, radiance, and inspiration. We cannot wait for the thing to make us happy. And this is such a cliche message that we've all talked about and we've all heard like so many times, but we cannot wait for XYZ before we are happy. We can't just keep saying to ourselves, I'll be happy when this happens. We have to find ways to be happy now, because now is all we have. Now is all we have. And we don't want to live our whole lives waiting until we're 60 or 70 years old and we're retired and we've got the, although I don't know if anyone can retire at 70 these days, but like we've got the dream house and things. And then we sit down and we suddenly have this moment of like, oh, okay, now I'm happy. That's not how it works. And you will know as well from your own life that as we manifest different things, by the time we get them, we're already thinking about the next thing. And this has happened to me in my life with things I've manifested, when my, you know, one of my books was a bestseller and it was like, oh, that's amazing. And you have a moment of like, this is so cool. And then you're just like waiting for the next book to be a bestseller, you know? And it's like, it's just, you know, it's a never ending kind of cycle. Or, you know, a book comes out and it's like, well, I'm so busy working on the book that, you know, the next book that, you know, you don't stop and go, wow, you know, I freaking did this. Like I manifested this. I made this happen, because we're always kind of looking for the next thing. So the secret is that we need to find joy in the moment. We need to be here now. That's basically your message. Be here now. Then we also have this second oracle, Saint Dymphna, mental health, well-being and support. And this is a little shout out for any of my air signs who are feeling a little bit anxious, overwhelmed, struggling a little bit with your mental health right now. Get the support that you need. Whenever I see Saint Dymphna, I always know for me that it's a reminder to just like, you've got to look after yourself. You've got to look after yourself. That's a huge part of the prosperity frequency, of prosperity consciousness, is you've got to look after yourself. You have to look after your body, your mind, your mental health, your emotional health, all the aspects of you. You have to look after them all. Because if we're not looking after ourselves and we're just expecting that, like, you know, ton of cash money is going to fix all of our problems, but, you know, we haven't paused and meditated for like 6 weeks, you're not going to be in a great place. And, you know, as an air sign, I know what it's like to be anxious. I know what it's like to be just overwhelmed in my head. You know, that's the place that I go to a lot of the time. So the grounding practices, and you know that prosperity 10 of Pentacles is such a grounding energy. It's such a grounding energy. It's such a grounding card. And it's a reminder here that, again, you know, we want to really experience prosperity in our lives. We have to be grounded. We have to ground our energy and look after ourselves. Oh, okay, air signs. I really hope this serves and supported you. Please do let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this reading, if it was useful for you. It helps me so much to know if people are vibing with these readings. Let me know how you feel about the new format as well. And if you would like to work together this month, we can do a reading for you, or you can come and join me for a Basic Witch, my new course where I'm going to teach you everything about getting witchy. All the links are below and how you can do that. And I'm sending you so much love. Okay, water signs, let's pull your cards. So we're going to pull the tarot and an oracle card as well. Okay, my water signs, we have sort of like a big kind of energy here. We have like maybe potentially a little bit of a big month. But you know, it feels like it's going to be maybe like a really powerful one as well, which is, you know, which is probably really needed. So we have the Four of Wands here, and the keyword on this card is completion. Now, when things are coming to completion, there's like mixed feelings with that. And this completion feeling can be anything, right? It can be absolutely anything that's kind of coming up for you right now that feels like you're done with something. Anything that you're kind of done with. You're done with a relationship with somebody, you know, romantic friendship or otherwise, that is just like, why am I even still hanging around with this person after, you know, they've showed me who they are like so many times. It could be that you're done with a work situation, with a job. It could be that you're done with something that has been causing you difficulty within yourself. And this is probably what it's most likely to be for you. And for me, because I have a rising and a moon in water. So this is like, what are you done with? What stories are you done with? What old stories are you done with? But also what I'm hearing here really clearly is, what habits are you done with? What habits need to come to completion? We all have habits. We all have little habits, and most of the time we're not even really aware of what they are. I just noticed myself like touching my crystal here, and I sort of thought, oh, that's a habit, because I've been doing that a lot. Like, I do that a lot. And part of it for me is like, I need to know my crystal's still there. So we could go into like a whole deep dive of like, why am I so paranoid that I'm going to lose my crystal? Is it like anxiety that I'm going to lose it? All these things. Look at your habits. This is obviously just a really small one that's not really probably causing me too much harm, but there are things that we do that are actually causing us harm. And I feel like your guides would really love for you to change and shift some of those. And in doing that, there'll probably be a discomfort. I feel like there's some habits that aren't serving you, but I also feel like there's some good habits that you could start to cultivate that will really serve you. And a lot of it feels like it's to do with your mindset. A lot of it feels like we've just got to change the narrative a little bit on some of the things that you've been telling yourself recently, some of the stories, just like the way you've been thinking about yourself maybe needs to change. And this can change through just little habits. So it's kind of like they're giving us this overview of like, okay, we've got some big things in life that aren't working. So how do we change that? Well, we start by looking at what how we're creating it. And I am never going to be somebody that will tell you create everything that happens in your life. I do not believe that. I feel like there's so many different things going on in this world that create our experience, that I think it's just ridiculous to say you're just creating everything. But that doesn't mean that there aren't things that we are creating, and that there aren't things, there aren't places where we're just really getting in our own way. I feel like there's something here for you water signs around, like, where are you getting in your own way? And changing up our habits is a fantastic way to start to get out of your own way. And I'll tell you one of mine. So every morning I do my spiritual practice. I do a spiritual practice every morning. And my spiritual practice involves doing some ritual, some mantra, some breath work, just checking in with my guides, meditation. It's like a whole bunch of different little things. And I can spend, like easily an hour doing that, or I can do a kind of shortened version for about half an hour. Lately, I've been finding that when I go into my space to do my spiritual practice, all I want to do is like look at my email. And it's like, like, why? Like, why would I want to look at my email anyway? But it's like, oh, I just want to look at my email. I just want to I've just got this urge to like look at my email, right? So I was getting into this habit that I was creating where I was looking at my email first and then doing my spiritual practice. And I knew, like, every time I did it, I knew, like, this isn't serving and supporting me at all. But, I'm just in the habit of doing this now, right? Like, this is just my habit. And this is just what I do. So that was going on for a while. And then some mornings I'd manage to override that feeling, and I'd be able to not check my email and feel really good about myself for not doing that. But I've noticed the past few times when I have stepped into my office and had the compulsion to check my email, I've heard the little voice within, or outside, however it sounds for you. Mine feels like, this voice within, like it's your higher self, your guides, I don't know, whoever it is you think it is. And the inner voice says to me, you can if you want, but it'd be really good if you didn't. That's what it says. You can do this if you want, but it'd be good if you didn't. It'd be good if you could do your spiritual practice first. That voice doesn't it doesn't berate me. It doesn't tell me I suck if I can't do this, but it just kind of says, look, this would be good if you could do this. And so I'm passing that on to you because whatever your thing is, and this is just, like a small little example. Maybe your thing is addiction to social media. If it's an addiction, you might need a bit more help. But, maybe it's an addiction to something else. Maybe it's an addiction to the dating the wrong kind of people. Maybe it's, whatever it is for you in your life. Maybe it's just like this, whatever habit it is. Maybe it's like, I know I'd feel good if I went out for a walk, but I just can't be bothered. That's, that can be one of mine as well. But if you can hear that voice that will say to you, look, you have free will. You can live your life however you want to live your life, but it'd be good if you did it like this, So think about that, and think about the goals that you're setting for yourself. Think about the things that you want to achieve in your life. Think about the way that you want to be, the things that you want to change about yourself, and not from a place of there's anything wrong with you and you need to change, but just from a place of like, how could I feel better? How could I live my best life? Am I living my best life? What could I change to maybe take a step forward to living my best life? It's all about, everything for you is about habits and change. But coming back to that tarot card, it's completion. This is how we complete this cycle. This is how we move into a new cycle. And that's what your guides are inviting you to do this month. They're inviting you to move into a new cycle, but they're just saying it's going to probably need a little bit of something from you in order to be able to help you shift into that next cycle and that next chapter. And then we have Archangel Raziel, mysteries, secrets, and protected knowledge. So you might be wondering what that next chapter is. I don't know. I don't know. So I feel like this is a couple of things, you're not going to know. When we complete one cycle, we don't know what the next cycle is going to bring. We don't know what the next chapter is going to bring until we open that page and we start reading, or we start writing and creating it. I feel like there's a really big message coming through for you around creating this chapter, writing this chapter, rather than reading it and letting it happen to you. I feel like you're very much in this place, and I hope some of you are still listening to this, because I feel like you're really in this place where there's quite a big transformation that's going to come if you want it, if you commit to it and you say, yeah, actually, I would like a transformation. Transformation is so scary, because even when we're in a place that we're like, I don't really know that I want to be in this place, it can still feel scary, because you're like, but I don't know what else is out there. And I always talk about, when I've been in jobs for way too long, because it's like, well, what if I get something worse? Even though this sucks, what if it's something worse, and maybe it will be worse, but probably not, probably not. If you're moving into your next chapter with, with intention, and you're ready for something really, really, really different. So support yourself in making that happen. If you want change is available for you. But we need to wrap up some things. We need to make some changes, and we need to, support ourselves as we move through this transition. Okay, beautiful water signs. I really hope that this served and supported you. Please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm just wishing you so much love and luck and success as you navigate this transformational time. If you'd like to work together this month, you can grab a reading with me, or you can come and join me for Basic Witch, my 6-week course, where I'm going to teach you everything I know about witchcraft, or at least as much as I can get into 6 weeks. All of the links will be below on how to do that, and I am sending you so much love.